How many times have you felt a small, worrying change in your body and told yourself the most common lie of aging? Oh, it's probably just my age. It's the phrase we use to dismiss the quiet voice inside that says something isn't right. But here is a shocking and vital truth. A study from the National Poll on Healthy Aging found that 1 in 3 seniors has a health problem they are too embarrassed or afraid to discuss with their doctor. They are suffering in silence. And that is exactly why this space exists. Welcome to Senior Health and Life, the place where we face these truths with courage. Today, we are going to learn how to listen to your body's whispers, 6 specific signals, especially concerning your sexual health, that are actually critical messages your doctor hopes you will share. And stay with me until the very end, because the 6th and final whisper is the one that most people tragically dismiss. But it is often the key that unlocks not just your health, but your entire sense of vitality. Before we begin, if you believe that advocating for your own health is a sign of wisdom, let us know with the word wisdom in the comments below. There's a quiet courage it takes to sit in a doctor's office and speak about the most private parts of our lives. It's far easier to talk about an aching knee than an aching heart, so we stay silent. But your body is the most honest historian you will ever have, and its changes are not random complaints. They are urgent warnings disguised as quiet whispers. Ignoring them doesn't make them go away. It only allows the problem to grow, louder. Today we're going to learn the language of these whispers. Let's begin with the first and one of the most misunderstood. Number 1, the whisper of fading desire. This whisper often starts so quietly you barely notice it. It's the slow fading of a vibrant color from your world, leaving everything in shades of gray. The immediate story we tell ourselves is one of personal failure. I must be getting old. But a significant or sudden drop in libido is not a moral failing. It is a critical piece of medical data, and the reason why is simpler and more surprising than you think. Your libido is a complex interplay of hormones and brain chemistry. A sudden drop can be a direct side effect of incredibly common medications, like beta blockers for high blood pressure. Or it can be a key symptom of clinical depression, linked to a decrease in neurotransmitters like dopamine, the motivation molecule. This isn't just a feeling, it's a biological signal. Telling your doctor, "My desire has disappeared," is not an awkward confession. It is a vital clue. But the second whisper is even more direct, and the science behind it, published in leading cardiology journals, has turned it into one of the most important predictors of heart health in men. Number 2, the whisper of inconsistent function. For a man, this is one of the most difficult whispers to acknowledge. The quiet panic of a body that doesn't respond the way it used to. The crisis of confidence that echoes long after the moment has passed. We're talking about persistent erectile dysfunction. The shame is immense, but what if that shame is completely misplaced? What if this isn't a failure of manhood, but a critical message from your most important organ? Here's the simple, powerful science. The arteries in the penis are some of the smallest in your body. They are like the tiny country roads, while your heart's arteries are the major highways. Trouble almost always shows up on those small roads first. That's why doctors now consider erectile dysfunction one of the earliest warning signs of potential heart disease, sometimes appearing years before any other symptom. Let me tell you about Richard, a 73-year-old who, for months, had been ignoring this very whisper. He finally gathered the courage to speak to his doctor, who ran some cardiac tests. They found a significant, yet completely silent, blockage in a key artery to his heart. By listening to that whisper, he very likely saved his life. Listening to that signal is an act of profound self-preservation. But not all of the body's whispers are silent warnings. Some are cries of pain, and the next whisper is one that no one, man or woman, should ever accept as normal. Number 3, the whisper of pain or discomfort. Let's be clear about this. Intimacy is meant to be a source of connection and pleasure. It is never, ever supposed to hurt. If you are experiencing pain, that is not a normal part of aging. It is your body's version of a fire alarm. a loud, clear signal that something is wrong. For women, this pain is most often a physical sign of GSM. The loss of estrogen after menopause doesn't just cause dryness. It reduces collagen and blood flow, making the tissues thinner and less elastic. This is a treatable medical condition, not a life sentence. For men, pain can be a sign of prostate issues or other conditions. In both cases, the message is the same. You would never ignore a fire alarm in your house. Pain during intimacy deserves that same level of urgent, compassionate attention. Telling your doctor is the first step to putting out the fire, and the next whisper is just as urgent, but it's one you see, not feel. Number 4. The whisper of a physical change. This whisper isn't a feeling, it's something you can see. A new lump, a persistent bump, or a patch of skin that looks different in the genital area. The voice of denial can be very strong here. It's probably nothing. We tell ourselves this because we are afraid of what it could be. But knowledge is always more powerful than fear. Most of the time, these changes are benign issues like a simple infection, easily treated. But sometimes, they can be the earliest signs of a more serious condition. The difference between catching something early and catching it late can be the difference between a simple treatment and a life-altering one. A quiet 10-second inspection of your own body is not an act of vanity. It is an act of profound self-preservation. This can be difficult to talk about, and I want to honor the courage it takes to listen. If you're finding the strength in this conversation, let me know by commenting the word courage below. It's a powerful way to support each other in breaking the silence. Number 5. The whisper of emotional distress. Sometimes the loudest whisper isn't from your body, but from your heart. It's the persistent cloud of anxiety that now surrounds the thought of intimacy, or the heavy blanket of depression that descends when you feel disconnected. If changes in your sexual health are taking a significant toll on your mental well-being, this is not something to just tough out. Here's the simple science. There is a powerful two-way street between your sexual health and your mental health. High levels of the stress hormone, cortisol, are scientifically proven to suppress the hormones that govern desire. At the same time, a fulfilling, intimate life releases endorphins and oxytocin, which are natural antidepressants and anti-anxiety agents. It's a feedback loop. When this loop becomes negative, it can be incredibly difficult to break on your own. This whisper is telling you that the issue has grown beyond just the physical. Seeking help from a therapist is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of immense strength. And what I'm about to share next is a whisper that is often the easiest to identify, but the hardest to act upon. Number 6. The whisper of a medication side effect. Think back. Did the changes in your intimate life begin around the same time you started a new medication? If so, that is not a coincidence. It is a massive clue. This is one of the most common yet under-discussed causes of sexual changes in older adults. We are prescribed a medication to help one part of our body without realizing the unintended consequences it might have on another. The most common mistake people make is to suffer in silence, or worse, to simply stop taking their medication without consulting their doctor. The courageous and correct action is to become an active partner in your own healthcare. At your next appointment, say to your doctor, "I've noticed that since I started this medication, my desire has changed. Are there any alternative options we can explore?" You do not have to choose between your heart health and your intimate health. Speaking up about this whisper is how you advocate for having both. As we bring our conversation to a close today, the message is this: your body is always speaking to you. It speaks in the language of energy, of function, of comfort, and of desire. For too long, we have been taught that as we age, we should simply accept its silence. But these 6 whispers are not signs of aging. They are signs of living. They are proof that your body is a dynamic system that is asking for your attention and care. And here is the final, most important truth. Walking into your doctor's office to talk about these things is not an admission of defeat. It is the ultimate act of taking control. It is you as the wise captain of your own vessel, listening to the sounds of the engine. Not out of fear, but out of expertise and a deep love for the journey. You are the foremost expert on your own body. Your health is worth talking about, and you are worth fighting for. What is one thing you learned today that has empowered you to listen to your body more closely? Sharing your insight in the comments below can give courage to someone else who needs to hear it. And of course, if you found this video valuable, please give it a like. Share it with someone who might be suffering in silence, and subscribe to our community. Thank you for being here. Remember, it's never too late to start listening.